Well, Mondays are the most boring days starting the week. But however, here in DWC, we intend to keep our Mondays a lot of fun to review. So today, we're going to be reviewing the two-night event by NWA with 75 years. So as you know, most wrestlers will be defending their titles twice. We will probably see title exchanges, some interesting. But however, the main event on night two is the most important one. Tyrus, as you know, has been the champion for a while. He put his career on the line to take on EC3. Will EC3 be the one to dethrone him and put Tyrus in retirement? Well, we'll find out. And of course, we have some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are putting out, who is being booked, what matches are set, any injured wrestlers, signed wrestlers, the whole enchilada. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy every review we do in the world of pro wrestling from various promotions. If you like this channel, please give us a nice subscribe and you get every review from every promotion we can get our hands on. Not only the ones you're familiarized, possibly the ones you may not know. But if you also like this episode, please give us a like and of course leave a comment on the bottom. So let's get started right now with night one of the NWA 75 years of the NWA. Now this was at the Chase in St. Louis. This was on the 26th of August. It opened up with the NWA World Women's Television title on the line. Max the Impaler faces against Kenzie Page, who has been a fighting champion. However, Kenzie Page only had one match to go. As you know, the television titles from both the men and women applied. If you're able to get lucky number 7, then you can cash in your world title and get an opportunity of either for the women's the Burke or the 10 pounds of gold, however you want to choose. So Kenzie Page put up a hell of a fight, but however you cannot beat a monster like, of course, Max the Impaler. Max actually put it through a lariat, and 1, 2, 3 are brand new NWA Women's World Television Champion. So I wouldn't be surprised if once Max the Impaler gets this lucky 7 matches, she would definitely challenge for the women's title. Now, our next match is the NWA National Heavyweight Championship that's been vacant by EC3. We have 3 competitors: Odison, Thrillbilly Cyrus, and of course Kratos. Now, recently we have witnessed Thrillbilly Cyrus throwing a bit of the attitude since last time he challenged for this belt. He completely lost his mind, and then of course a bit of friction between him and Boyle Lamar. However, Boyle Lamar decided to get involved in this match, but Thrillbilly wasn't having it. But the most shocking thing what he did is he gave Boyle a thrill ride right in front of everybody, and Velvet Sky was completely shocked, like she couldn't believe it. But however, because of this matter, it was Thrillbilly with the thrill ride onto Odison to pick up the win, so he becomes our brand new NWA National Heavyweight Champion. So, but however, he will put that title on the line on night 2. Now, next match, this is a no disqualification match. This one was supposed to be a straight match, but however, Homicide, who wanted to pay tribute to one of his idols and heroes, the late Terry Funk, this match became a no disqualification against Joe Alonso. Now, you probably would have thought in your minds, Joe Alonso, he's already a dead man because this is the wheelhouse of Homicide. You're right. But however, this was the biggest upset that no one's expected. Joe Alonso pulled off a victory by rolling up Homicide to pick up the win. This is a very shocking development. No one expected that, but it just did. Now, our next match, we have Magnum Muscle taking on the Brothers of Funstruction, where they being accompanied by Violet J of the Insane Clown Posse. So you would have thought this match was going to be interesting, but however, Violet J became distraction for the ref. But who was it? It was the Yup driver onto Mims that picked up the win by the Brothers of Construction. So that's going to be interesting to see. So we could see them in the team title run. Either they could challenge for the world titles or the United States titles, however they want to choose. Now our next match, this is for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship between Colby Corino and Kerry Moore. Now these two guys are a bit of rivalries. Colby Corino and of course Kerry are generational wrestlers. Both their dads were wrestlers, and that's always been well recognized. But however, Kerry Moore, who believes that he is the face of NWA, will not let Colby Corino. Now Colby has challenged for this belt before, but he was unsuccessful. But like any other moment, you would have thought that somehow Colby would have not made it through, but he did when he applied his DDT move to pick up the win and finally obtaining the belt that he has been longing for. And now he's our brand new NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. So we'll see how much of a champion he can be. Now our next match it's called a Matter of Respect No Disqualification match between Jack Stane and Tim Storm. Now, their rivalry dates back many years ago. When Jack Stane was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, it was Tim Storm who dethroned him. And I don't think Jack Stane has ever forgiven him or forgotten about that day. But of course, this rivalry continued more no matter what. However, this match had a stoppage due to Tim Storm unable to continue. So basically, the match was given to Jack Stane, but I hardly doubt this is the kind of match he wanted to win like that. He wanted to beat him in the right way, but of course that dumb lawyer of his probably would think just beat it, he just take the win. But sooner or later they may have to go back into this match and redo it again. So we'll see when that day comes. Now our next match, this is a NWA Women's World Title #1 contender Mildred Burke Invitational Gauntlet match. Now, whoever wins this match will get an opportunity for the Burke, the NWA Women's title. However, the most shocking development is when the match started. Kenzie Page, who just recently lost the NWA World Television, the Women's World Television title, demanded that she put up in this match. However, William Patrick Corgan, or as we know him, Billy Corgan, granted her wish to be in the tournament in this gauntlet. However, she had to start from the top, from #1. So basically, she was entirety from there. However, when you think that Kenzie Page, that she thought that she could get away with everything, get what she wants. However, the one who beat her for her belt showed up, and everybody were trembling in fear. But they knew they had to find a way to defeat her. But it did not to Max the Impaler. She was like a bigger threat. However, they were able to pick up the win. But in the final two of this gauntlet match, it ended with both Allison Kay and Kenzie Page on the end. But it was Kenzie Page who picked up the win. So that means she will be challenging for the Burke against Camille. I think that's going to happen on night 2, or if she walks out as the champion, if she defeats Natalia Markova. Now, our next match is an open challenge match. Now, Matt Cardona once again going out that he is the savior of the NWA, called out for anybody. And here comes Ricky Morton, a well-known, respected wrestler and Hall of Famer. I'm sure this is one of those matches that, of course, Matt Cardona's like, you got to be kidding me. He was looking for better wrestlers. But, however, it did happen. The match did, but referee did not see this. apparently Matt Cardona low blowed Kerry Morton, and then he gave him the Renaissance to pick up the win. But of course, he was intending to take out Ricky Morton once and for all, put him out of this mystery. But the Southern Six, Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's son, and of course, um, Alex Taylor show up for the helping hand. So that is something we did expect. Now our next match is for the NWA World Tag Team titles. We have Blunt Force Trauma versus La Rebellion. Now, for months or who knows how long, ever since the formation of Blunt Force Trauma, Iron Steven, who has portrayed the manager of this team, has one goal in mind, is to obtain the tag team titles. Now, he hasn't forgotten what La Rebellion has done to him. If you guys remember, he and Kratos were the tag team titles champions, but however, they were able to defeat them, and they were Stevens and Kratos were unable to capture them. But this was a perfect revenge format by them in order to pick up to get a win. But however, as you know, Blunt Force Trauma were in the finals of the Crockett Cup, but came up short, losing to Murdoch and Knox. So that's going to be interesting to see. But of course, Aaron Steven with the loaded glove was the deciding factor that put away what's his name? Well, Vampiro got involved in this match as well, but apparently it did not work. Blunt Force Trauma were able to win the tag titles, but however, post match, La Rebellion had to deal with one particular group, and that is the Brothers of Construction. Apparently, there's a lot of history between both Violent J and Vampiro taking place. Now, our main event is for the NWA World Women's title. Camille defends her title against Natalia Markova. Now, Markova has been chasing this belt for a long time now. She felt that she knows how to defeat her, so this became a no disqualification match. So basically, anything goes. But when Natalia Markova felt like she thought she had this match won, Camille kicked out. I mean, I know she's battered and bruised, that she has to put her entire body to figure out a way. But it was a spear through the table that Camille put away Markova, and 1, 2, 3, she retained the titles. So that retained her title. So next week, the following day, it's when of course Camille would put her title on the line against Kenzie Page, and Kenzie Page is aiming for this belt. So I think that's pretty much it with night 1. Let's move on with night 2. Okay, night 2 of the NWA75 took place on the 27th of August. Our opening match features the NWA World Television title. Tom Latimer defeats it against his former tag partner and former friend, Chris Adonis. Now, this took place about in the previous NWA Power during a gauntlet, during a 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris Adonis turned his back on Tom Latimer, and of course he's aiming for the title. But however, what's at stake in this match? If Tom Latimer defeats Chris Adonis, he will definitely have lucky number 7, meaning that he could cash in an opportunity for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But he has to go through Chris Adonis. However, Adonis was, of course, on multiple occasions trying to apply the master lock, but no go. But in the end, it was, of course, Latimer with the crossface that helped him put away Adonis and giving him the victory. So that means he is now lucky number 7. Now our next match is for the NWA World Women's Tag Team titles. This is between Pretty Empower, Ella Envy, and Kenzie Page taking on M95, Maddie and Misa Kate. Now, if you guys remember clearly, Pretty in Power were able to regain those belts when they defeated the Renegade Twins. But however, because of the Champions Series, it led for Misa, Kate, and Maddie to cash in their Champions Series against Pretty in Power. They must have those belts for at least a few seconds until it was cashed in. But now this configuration is with Ella Envy and Kylie Page. And you probably thought this was going to be a very interesting matchup because, of course, they would do everything in their power to regain what they felt was theirs. And of course, it was well, what's her name? Misa was able to isolate Ella, but however, it was Kylie with the code red to put away Maddie. And of course, 1, 2, 3, Pretty in Power have obtained the NWA Women's World Tag Team titles. However, if Kenzie Page defeats Camille, that means that Pretty in Power will most likely be the ones that control and run the female division, the women's division, and the NWA. Now, our next match is for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. We have Jack Cartwheel versus Colby Corino. Now, this match was unbelievably good. Now, if you guys never seen Jack Cartwheel, the guy is amazing. He does these crazy flips that's impossible. I heard that he has a background in gymnastics, but Colby Corino, oh my God, I didn't know he was like getting pounded, whatever of course Jack Cartwheel was doing. But in the end, it was the DDT, his DDT finisher, that was the X factor to put away Jack Cartwheel to retain his title. But however, he seems like he received a great standing ovation from the fans who were impressed by his skills. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides that he wants to come back more often, but anything's a possibility. Our next match is for the NWA Women's World Television title. Ruthie J versus Max Impaler. Now, I can give you this one real quick. Max Impaler walked out as the winner. No surprises there for me, but it just ended that way. So that means that she has one match won, so she needs 6 more to go. Our next match, bit of a rivalry. We have the brothers from Funstruction, Yabo and Rufo, along with Violent J, taking on La Rebellion, Mecha Wolf, and Bestia 66, along with Vampiro. Of course, this is a big rivalry between both Violent J and Vampiro, but in the end, of course, this rivalry, Violent J tried to get himself involved, but it did not work in his favor. But it was, of course, a frog splash by Mecha Wolf onto what's his name, Rufo, to pick the win. But however, of course, Vampiro hasn't forgotten things that he and Violent J were going to get to. So basically, he was going to finish him off, but did not happen. Now, our next match, we have Kerry Morton versus Matt Cardona. Now, Kerry is not a happy camper what Matt Cardona did, where he was doing the way he defeated his father and walked away as the winner. But however, Kerry Morton, on the other hand, was not going to let him get away with it. But in the end, of course, somehow, some way, Kerry Morton was able to pick up an upset victory against Cardona when he applied the showstopper. I think that's the last thing he needed. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Cardona would get his revenge against Kerry Morton. Now, our next match is the NWA National Heavyweight title. We have Jordan Clearwater taking on our newly crowned Thrillbilly Silas. Now, Thrillbilly has been showing a brand new attitude, new game on him ever since he became the National Heavyweight Champion. However, in the end, it was the thrill ride that made the deciding factor for Thrillbilly to retain the title. But it most likely the relationship between him and Boyle is completely over. Velvet Sky kind of made that perfectly clear. So we'll see what happens with her in the future. Next up, we have the NWA World Tag Team titles. We have the winners of the Crockett Cup, Mike Knox and Charles Murdoch, taking on Blunt Force Trauma. Now, this is another revenge moment for Blunt Force Trauma. They have forgotten that they lost and they were second to Mike and Murdoch, but it was a much brutal match that you couldn't possibly imagine. However, Aaron Stevens would do whatever it takes to ensure the belts stay with Blunt Force Trauma. And that's exactly what he did when he used the loaded glove onto Trevor Murdoch, allowing for Damage to pick up the win, and Blunt Force Trauma retained the titles. I'm sure Mike Knox will not forget this, and he will get his revenge on Aaron Stevens, but sooner or later they may have to go for the tag titles one way or the other. Now our next match, this is for the NWA Women's World Championship. Kenzie Page, who won the gauntlet match, challenged for this belt. Camille, who's been holding on to the belt for almost 813 days, the one-time champion. Now she went through hell. I mean, Kenzie applied many Kenzie cutters to put her away, but nothing worked. Nothing Kenzie tried. But however, when Camille was outside the ring, she removed the safety of the middle turnbuckle unaware. But when Camille applied a spear, she hit that exposed turnbuckle, knocking her out, giving Kenzie Page the opportunity to do the Kenzie cutter. 1, 2, 3. Our brand new Women's World Champion is now happened. So that means right now, the Pretty in Power are now in full control of the women's division. So we'll see what happens till then. Now, before we get to the next match, our main event, they did something pretty good, pretty amazing. They did the 10 bell salute to the fallen wrestlers, such as Jay White, Jay Briscoe, Whithan Rotunda, better known as Bray Wyatt, a few others. I thought it was great that they were honoring them for their legacy. I think it was pretty great. Now our main event, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, on the line. We have EC3 as the challenger versus Tyrus. Now, if Tyrus loses, he will be forced to retire, and that's exactly what happened. But man, how would EC3 take down a big person? That was a good question. However, EC3 put a lot of effort and strength into this match. But in the end, it was, of course, the purpose that became its deciding factor. But it was the use of the rope in order to put away Tyrus. And, of course, EC3 become our brand new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. However, Tyrus was giving his little promo, how much he loved the business and his kids. And, of course, EC3 comes out telling him that he gets a replica of the belt or a gift from the boss, Billy Corgan. So I thought that was really nice. So I think it was a pretty good ending, for Tyrus. I know many fans are not happy that he's going to be gone, but it is what it is. And I think that's pretty much it right now for this, for our reviews. Let's move on with news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have for everyone. Now, you may have heard news that WWE and NFL are now in a working partnership. However, there's a bit of cause of concern that one of the belts they built, like ones for the NFL teams, one of them is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, you all know who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shahid and Tony Khan. So those belts, from my understanding, sold out very quick. But however, later on they announced there was no longer going to be in sale. So basically, they got rid of whatever orders they had, and that's pretty much it. Now, PW Insider reported that AAA and Impact will be doing scheduled tapings in November in Mexico. So they will be doing some of that stuff. I don't know when, but hopefully we'll find out. Well, it's going to be in November. Sorry, my bad. So anyway, more updates on New Japan's Royal Quest 3. Zack Sabre Jr. has been announced that he will participate in this show. Interesting news coming from Tokyo Issue Pro Wrestling. Idol group known as Ski 48 announced that their member Shiori Aoki will be special guest referee in Nagoya on September 11th. But also on that very day, another member of the idol group will be participating as a guest commentator. Her name is Marika Tani. Will be guest commentator for Wrestle Universe. Now, you may not have heard of this LA promotion called Pandemonium Pro Wrestling. It was announced that the television title will be defended. Johnny Hollywood, or as we know him, Johnny Multiple, defends that belt against Hijo de Vikingo. So, yep, that's going to happen. Now, speaking of Hijo Vikingo, it was also announced for their upcoming event, Fallout, that will take place on September 15. He will put the AAA Mega Championship on the line against Loki. Now, GCW updates. Say You Will, that will take place on the 1st of September. They announced that Gringo Loco will take on Tony Deppen. And then a few days later, on the 10th of September, we have Crushed Up, Joey Janela and Alex Coughlin will be facing off each other. That's going to be interesting. Now, this one I wanted to say for last. I don't know if you guys been paying attention or not. There was an interesting video that was posted by none other than New Japan star Taichi, where he's confessing his love for Tam Nakano. Now, you guys haven't seen it. I thought it was very interesting. They did put out a video where they went to this little aquarium or like a SeaWorld type place. I don't know. But there was another video that he uploaded where he gets down on knees, confesses his feelings towards Tam. But Tam, on the other hand, told him that her love for pro wrestling and fans are right now more important. So, and then later in the video, it showed Taichi waking up from a dream. Like, I don't know if this is like the end of this whole romantic story, because we know that Taichi and Tam have been friends for a couple years now. So we all thought that there was something going on between them because of the way they reacted at the historic crossover. But we'll see what happens until then. So right now, Tam Nakano has a lot of things on her mind. As you know, Tam is completely knows that she has a target on her back by Natsuko Tora, who is now challenging. But however, Tam wants to face the veteran wrestlers. So we'll see what happens until then. So I think that's pretty much it for our news update. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we have Tuesday Wrestling. More NWA Power will take place as it enters Fallout after NWA75. But of course, we'll have NXT. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, I haven't decided if there's going to be anything before then, but I'm thinking about reviewing some stuff, either from All Japan or Pro Wrestling Noah. So we'll see what happens until then. But for now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.